Good morning.
Hello, Joe.
Hey, good morning, Evo. And good morning, everyone. How's your morning so far?
Slow going, but waking up the brain, and we'll see what happens today.
Yeah.
How about you?
Good. Things are great. Just getting things ready here, and yeah, I just dropped off the car to have the winter tires taken off, so that's a good sign. And then I was thinking of you guys. You guys probably have, well, you have zero need for them, and you probably don't, a lot of people in the South or in warm climates probably have no idea that there's a different tire that we put in our vehicles for winter driving. So yeah.
I remember those days, but I got grabbers on my VW van again, so they just stay on all the time.
Yeah, and there you go. For where I live, Tony, right now is a pretty safe bet. Whenever the golden rule is whenever you have sustained temperatures above 7 degrees, it's usually the right time to have them taken off. So we might get a little dusting of snow here and there, but I don't think snow will be staying on the ground anymore. But you're right. Usually it's more towards May. So here we go. Today is Tuesday, April 21st. So a few things to know before the open. Obviously, stuff going on with the Middle East. Stock futures are gaining, even though there's a lot of unknown with what's going on in the Middle East. There is a supposedly talks going on today, and hopefully the ceasefire will hold. It's supposed to expire tomorrow, I believe, on Wednesday. Apple getting a new CEO, that was hilarious. Well, not hilarious, because I'm sure a lot of people were affected by it. But just when the news came out, it was after hours yesterday, a massive dip and then completely regained. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really change much in the company. So price came right back to where it was. And that's where it is right now. Obviously, it will have an impact. And the market is open. I feel my watch is going crazy right now. So to whoever's trading the open, good luck. And yes, a different CEO can obviously have an impact on what will happen with that company. Fed chair nominee. This is news that's happening right now. There's confirmation meeting for the new head of the Fed, the Federal Reserve. It starts at 10 a.m. and this could absolutely have an impact on the market depending on what is said. If he shares that he's planning on increasing interest rates, reducing interest rates, or his vision, he's going to start having the effect that Jerome Powell had over the last few years. So this is something that I would be interested in, especially in M2K, the Russell 2000, very, very heavily dependent on interest rates. As far as the economic calendar is concerned, today, let's reload this just to make sure I've got the right information. I don't see any three-star news events. Sorry, I've been trouble finding my words. 8:30 a.m. U.S. President Trump speaks. I don't know if this has happened already. And they're putting 3 stars on here because it's obviously important when he has a press conference. Other than that, I don't see anything else. As far as earnings, Intel after hours today. So INTC will be interesting today for sure. I'm sure Evo will be paying attention to INTC. Seems to be one of his favorites lately. Other than that, as far as earnings are concerned, we've got Tesla coming up tomorrow. Oops, I don't know why I went to Friday. INTC is on Thursday. I was on the wrong day. Sorry about that. Let's go back to Tuesday. There we go. So Tuesday after the close, I don't see anything that I usually trade. United Airlines, I know a lot of people do trade the airlines. Wednesday over here is Tesla. And just to clarify, INTC is on Thursday. Okay, I had it on here from last time I looked at it. I also wanted to bring this up. This is investing.com. They're another thing that I enjoy reading in the morning as I'm sitting down having my coffee. Obviously, a lot of uncertainty surrounds the new U.S.-Iran peace talks. Warsha, the confirmation hearing I already mentioned, and Apple announcing CEO change. And earnings are moving ahead this week, next week, and over the next couple of weeks, we're going to get a lot of tech earnings coming in. As far as what it is I'm looking at the open, I had this, oh, wow, we're having quite the drop. I had this this level, the pre-market high, and on the 30-minute time frame, MNQ put in this kangaroo tail type of rejection candle. So I found this very interesting. I set the bottom of the level at the bottom of this candle, but now it's moved down. So I will be looking at putting this level once we start buying again, once we start reversing, and then I'll be looking at my golden zone here. So as far as right now, the impulse move is lower. We are absolutely selling. There's definitely some profit taking going on. And I forgot something here. Please hang on. I forgot to share here. And this, there we go. Okay. Okay. So this is quite the move. Anybody short the market right at the open seems to be the, especially with the kangaroo tail rejection on the 30-minute, this is absolutely a selling candle, right? We wicked up, could not get or could not sustain any higher than that was Friday's high and rejected, and now we are selling. That is the initial move. That's where I'm starting my fibs. We'll see where they end. MES couldn't get above Friday's high. So MES put in a similar move here. So that's what I'll be looking at. MNQ, I had an alert set in the golden zone, which was over here. Now it needs to come down, but we haven't put in a bottom yet. So once this bottom is put in, that's where I'm going to move this alert right before things get back into the golden zone. And that's basically what I'm going to be looking at on MNQ MES. Just set it there. It's a waste of time really to put it down there right now because the move hasn't happened. Gold has been incredibly choppy. Look at these wicks in pre-market. So I'm not really interested in anything in gold right now. It does seem to have possibly found a bottom right above S4, which is a good sign. Could be a sign for longs over here. But for as far as I'm concerned, I just don't like what it is I'm seeing here. And I'm almost done. I don't know if anybody wants to add what it is they're looking at. I'll take this off as well. A lot of chop in the oil markets because we are all waiting to see what is going to happen with those talks. This is interesting that yesterday's high, pre-market high, and PDC are all above these wicks here. This is a big sign of resistance up here. But we could get one tweet and this thing could just go to 100 in no time at all. So whatever you do, make sure you have your stops put in. And I thought I had an alert here, but no. So I'll be looking at this area here. We're definitely resisting over here, but we are on the 30-minute time frame. We're putting higher lows as well. Right, so this is putting a little bit of a flag pattern here. Not quite sure what to make of it. So in the next couple 30-minute candles will be interesting to watch. And then the other one was M2K. M2K is in a zone here, and I find that very interesting. I can share my trade on M2K yesterday. If anybody's interested, you can tell the golden zone right here and how it held. And this was a 3-hour trade. That was pretty quick, actually. Yeah, so I'm looking at this area right now. I'm very curious. I think that this is one that could very well be affected by the confirmation hearing going on at 10 a.m. So we might see some reduced movement in here until Walsh speaks and starts answering questions during the confirmation hearing at 10 a.m. I'll share this this trade and my failed MES trade from yesterday. I'll share those two in the next little while. Anything else? Anybody looking at? I was looking at CAR. This move on Avis Avis Budget Group has been absolutely incredible. Look at this, very small candles, and then something happened, taking it from the 200 area up to 720. That's an incredible move. Is it a big short squeeze? Who knows? Even yesterday, I mean, going from the open at 475 to the close around 620, and then after hours, it just kept on screaming up. I do not trade these, but you know, if somebody had, or there's a lot of people that do trade them, and there's people that tried shorting as well over here, and you know, you can get destroyed pretty quickly. So this was on my chart because I find that very interesting. These levels here, which is yesterday's high, pre-market low, these are definitely some interesting levels. If this holds, will it just continue screaming up? Who knows? There's a lot of volume, and does anybody know what's going on with CAR? And then Apple, let's go back to the 5-minute. Apple seems to have calmed down. We want to know, what do people think of the fact that we're changing CEOs? I believe it doesn't happen until September. Above a pre-market low, above yesterday's low, we could be finding some support over here. And Tesla, I know we've been looking at as well. Tesla found some support yesterday and then just kept on going sideways. Right now, possible 30-minute. If we close up here, this would be a very interesting candle to get in on, especially if it was above pre-market low and PDC. That seems to be the right low. That seems to be the right low for the time being. I wouldn't even know where to put fibs on something like this. This is just, for me, gold is just a choppy mess right now. Just for fun, I just want to see something here from here to here, or if you started right where we started buying. Yeah, that's an interesting level here, but it happened after hours. During market hours yesterday, gold. Sorry, let me just take this drawing off. During market hours yesterday, gold stayed above S3 here, and then moved up. I put in this this fib here, or sorry, this trade in here. Must have been while we were talking yesterday. And I've since removed the drawings. There you go. That was a golden zone short on gold. That worked. All right, let's put the fibs there and let's look at this. Let's zoom in on a 5-minute time frame. So that was gold yesterday. All right, so going from the high of the open where we started selling and stopping the fib at the low of this massive candle. There is a massive 1045, 1050 yesterday. There was a huge drop in the market and massive volume everywhere on almost every instrument. And then we started pulling back up and then it came right to the 50, but then it didn't get into the 50. So I put the drawing here just as I was working at the computer just to see, because I am testing out different trying to automate these strategies. And just to see, you know, if it came in and just touched, then you put a limit order over here with your stop 1 hour away at the 61.8, and then your take profit at 3R. This one in my forward testing or live testing, this one would have worked. You know, the 50% zone has been an incredible zone forever. So again, full disclosure, I did not take this trade. The one I did take was M2K. So let's zoom in here. So this was yesterday. So I put the fibs at the open. This was where we started buying, right? We see that we started buying and never came back down below the open. Maybe this wick right over here touched the open price, and then we started going up. And I put the fibs at the top of the range where we started selling. This is on a 5-minute candle. We wicked down. This was that massive candle I was talking about yesterday. That happened yesterday. Massive candle, that was the top, started coming down. I went in actually on a 1 minute on this one. So let's zoom in here. There we go. On the 1 minute, we had touched this zone, and then we put in this really big bullish engulfing candle right here. And that was my entry with my stop below the lowest wick. It went in my direction, but then came back, didn't quite touch the 50, and then took off and took me out at plus 3R over here. It ended up going a little bit higher. I mean, if I were to put this at the high of day, could have been a 4.9, almost a 5R trade. But the way that I'm testing out this strategy is +3 or -1, like I was discussing yesterday. So this trade worked. That was a +3. But right after that, I took a -1. And here was my reasoning on that trade. So on MES, once we hit the top here, we started selling. Yes, the trend is going higher. The trend from pre-market was going higher, but it looked like it closed the gap from Friday and then couldn't find buyers any higher. So that's where, let me just expand this a little bit, still on the 30-minute time frame. That's where I started the fib. And then after that massive volume candle that, hang on a second. And let's extend this over. Oops. There you go. Let's extend it over here. All right. I know there's a lot to look at in here, but this was the golden zone from the top of the after the open. This was close to 10 a.m. We seem to have put in a top. Couldn't find any buyers up there. Came down to a swing low, which was the low of pre-market. Then retraced, went into the golden zone, went into the 6.18 or the 61% zone, but it didn't close up there. So this is where I zoomed into the 2-minute. I wish it would stay in the same area. Okay, this is where I zoomed into the 2-minute, and then we put in this really bearish candle. And right on the break of that candle is where I went in short, aiming for the low of the day, and with the stop just above the wick over here. It chopped around for a while and could not continue making new lows until it took me out around 120 over here at -1R. So that was it for the day, +2 because of the +3 and the -1. Tony, I believe, was saying that if you looked on the higher time frame, let's look at this, or if I zoomed out and started the fibs at the low over here, because we are moving up, look how clean this 50% zone was for the move higher, right? So that one would have worked. You know, if anybody took this this trade over here, that was a great one. I'm still okay with the one that I took. This was a high that we couldn't seem to make any higher highs. Came down, started buying, went into the 50 almost perfectly, and then started selling. But we just couldn't continue, and that's okay because they don't all work. It would be very easy if they worked all the time. Posted something in general chat that breaks down the car situation. Oh, thank you. Let's look at that. MES, are you talking about the reversal right now on MES? It's definitely, yeah. It started selling off in pre-market, hit a bottom. This is definitely, what time is it? 9:50. This is definitely where I'd be curious to see what happens in this zone. Now, I'm not going to wait exactly at 10 a.m. I know I usually say that I'll wait for 10 a.m. If this were to pop into here, let's zoom into it so we actually know what we're looking at. So this is where we started selling, right? That's my impulse move. That's where I started the fib over here. It's coming down, and pretty much shortly after we opened, we found a bottom, double bottom, and started moving up. This is definitely the area that I'm curious about. I want to see what will happen in here. Once we hit this area, do we reject and continue the move down? Or do we just continue moving up? And if we do, then I will set my fibs at the bottom here, and we'll see where it reverses from there. But this is the way that I've been testing it out and documenting, and it's just the beginning of the impulse move. Even though it was on lower volume, this was the high. And this is where I want to start looking, but I'll be looking at price action. I'll be looking at volume. I'll be looking at the candle formations in this area. And M2K, let's remove these because I've talked about them already. There we go. Let's go to a higher time frame here. So M2K breaking out. I just set this up this morning as the low. At this point, I'd be saying, you know what, we're buying over here. Right? This is very strong. We're buying off of yesterday's high, PDC pre-market low. Therefore, this is where I would start my fibs. And I would stop them wherever we hit a high over here. But for the moment, it's right here. I would be looking at the possibility of continuation if it shows strength into the golden zone here. But the only thing with M2K, I really feel that it will be heavily affected by the confirmation hearings going on right now. So this is something I definitely want to see what the big players are doing before doing anything. That's my alert. Airbnb 52-week. Sorry, what did I just read there? Airbnb 52-week high. This is a really good live picture of what could happen in the golden zone here. Right now it's strong. There's a lot of volume. We're buying. right? This is definitely not a short. And if it just continues on over here, and if it closes above the 61.8, then I will delete this and I will set a new level starting from the bottom here, from the swing low. And even with this massive candle right here, pardon me, even if it did start coming down from here, this candle here is way too strong for me to think that it's reversing, going down. And it could. It absolutely could. But I like to see a candle like this one right here. Can I take my crosshairs off for a second here? Right? I want to see a candle with a wick come in here and show that it's obvious that there are no more buyers over here and that we're selling hard from here. This is not what it is I look for the golden zone short. MNQ, massive wicks. What the heck? Wow. Still, oh, sorry, that's still on the 30-minute, but still, that is one big 5-minute candle. Right? We might be seeing it in MNQ. Right? MNQ hasn't. We started selling in pre-market, started buying right around the 9:35, right after the open. So this is where I'll be looking for MNQ for possible rejection of the golden zone. MES could still happen, but I don't like how strong this looked getting into this zone. Anything going on in gold? Still very, very wicky. But pre-market low at yesterday's S4. Right now it's above S4. There's the alert on MNQ. Right. So curious to see now that it's close. This is where I zoom into the 2. We're putting in 2-minute fair value gaps. Therefore, we're buying strong. This is yesterday's high right over here. MNQ is interesting here. We're still buying. What's happening in MES? I should probably bring up my screen with 6 windows. There you go. So this is MNQ. Nice V reversal here. What will it do at this level? And then what's happening with MES? These are some very strong 5-minute candles here. Are we going to continue up or are we going to reject this level? This is what's going on with gold. Just in a choppy mess. Crude is in a very tight range. And then SPY also hitting R3 over here. Interesting what happens there. There's a spike up in MNQ. Let's bring this into a 2-minute now. I don't know, my fibs are not showing up on here. MNQ. Here, I've got the fibs. Are they not? Yeah, they should all be synced. Yeah, thank you, Tony. I didn't change it. I don't know why this is on, why this isn't global. I was telling you in DM, Tony, there's some behaviors on this trading view that are very odd. See, right now I'm on MNQ on another screen. We should be seeing my cursor on here. Yeah, I see it here, but when I do this, I don't see it there. That's on global. That's on global. Oh, is it per chart? There you go. That was the only one. Is it the same? MNQ? Yeah, we're way beyond the 50% zone now from the selling in pre-market, right? And we have closed above it. Therefore, the way that I do it, delete. That theory is no longer valid because we're buying. So now I'm going to put fibs this way and stop them wherever we start reversing, whatever the high will be. I mean, we could look at the pre-market high here just temporarily and see if we retrace to this area. Otherwise, I'd be putting it at the high that's put in. But if anybody took this long from this choppiness at PDC here, that would have been a really nice trade. Well, we're up a couple of 100 points already. Derek, short on gold. Short on gold, pre-market. Selling, quite the retest. Again, moving down. Wow. I wouldn't know what to do with this.
It really tested me, Gilles.
I'm sorry?
It really tested me.
Yeah?
Yeah, but on gold, I'm looking at the 4 hours. The 4 hours look like we're making head and shoulders and we'll just snap down.
Yeah. I'm not used to trading gold, so full disclosure here, I have taken a few trades over the last couple of weeks, but just for me looking at this, it seems like there's a lot of wicks here, just all over the place. I don't know if this is usually like this.
No, not really.
Yeah, it's probably what's going on in in the economy and global markets right now, with the uncertainty in Iran or in the Gulf. But yeah, I don't, for the way that I trade, I don't see much in here. This was a massive candle, and then right, you would think that buyers are absolutely in control, and then nope, within 1, 2, and then this was overnight over the weekend, and this what Avi was saying of why he doesn't like having positions on once the market closes for that hour or even over the weekends, because you have no idea where the market's going to reopen. So yeah, this is very bullish, and then all of a sudden we retraced it down, a couple hundred points here. That's anyway, as far as what you're looking at, you're short. It was rejecting this area up here. Let's get rid of these drawings again. And then found support. This was pre-market low. Still over the last couple 4-hour sessions, just making new lows.
Yeah, I tried to get back in the range. It couldn't. So
yeah, as far as the 30-minute is concerned, it's just been choppiness.
and the top of this 3 hours, it should be reaching a golden zone or retracement from the bigger move down.
From the bigger move on Friday?
No, yeah, from today. Yeah, exactly. Where are you?
Yeah,
Yes.
so right there to down here, right? Put in a low. Look at this wick over here. Almost touched the golden zone again. I'll put an alert here to look at it. For me, it would have to take out these wicks here for me to really be interested. So let's put an alert right at that level. What is that? Is that PDC? Pre-market high. Excuse me. That's pre-market is calculated at 4 a.m. according to my my script here. So yeah, I might look at it over here. So starting it from the open at 1800 or 6 p.m. last night, and then came and found the bottom. We are selling. If you just zoom into this area here, right? We're selling. This is a 30-minute time frame, all red candles, chopped around a bit, then came down, put in a wick, and then almost touched the 50. So over the next little while, if it comes and touches a 50 and rejects again, this could be a good signal short. Anything else going on? Tony, well, for that reversal, pull a fifth from yesterday's regular trading hours low to today's pre-market high on NQ. So let's take this one out. And you're saying from yesterday's low, oh, that's really, yeah, over here. Yeah, from here to here. Yeah, same thing that happened with MES, what you were saying yesterday, right? From there to there, perfectly came into, I hope you took it. Yeah, all economic data came in hotter than expected today. Will be interesting to see if anything Kevin Walsh says has an actual impact. Yeah, Tony, so am I. I'm still experimenting with the Fib 50. Absolutely. That's what it is that I'm doing here. I'm far from having all the rules ironed out. But I like that you shared here that going from the low of yesterday to the pre-market high here, came down, played around the 50, which was right at PDC. Higher time frame, we are absolutely moving higher. So the bias is long. That's something that I'm thinking about possibly adding into only taking trades that coincide with the higher time frame. But I don't like limiting myself like that, because even in a higher time frame, while it's going up, there are pullbacks, and those pullbacks on a micro time frame, smaller time frame, they can easily give you 3R. But you know what? if this were to, if we can make this mechanical, that's the whole idea, is to try to make this mechanical or repeatable. Yeah, very interesting. I'll leave it on there. Leave it on there. But now what it is I'd be looking at is putting them on from there to wherever it starts reversing, and then see if there's another entry for the long. Right? That's the whole idea. Just for the fun of it, starting from that low, I just want to see if I go to every high here, I want to see, is there any point where it touches the 50? And that is the only time. Once we've put in new highs, this is the only time where it touches a 50. So I don't know if anybody else draws it like this. If so, please don't hesitate to share. I have an alert on MCL, which is going to go off any second now. I wanted to start looking at it. Well, I put it in while talking about it in pre-market. That was probably the alert. I want to see how it reacts to this level here. I want to see, what do we do here to these levels, this entire area over here. So this is like on a higher time frame, on 30 minutes. I want to see, what do we do over here? Do we reject this area? From the move down from here to here, we are approaching into, right, higher time frame, or over the last few days we've been going down. We're pulling into the golden zone again. Now this is definitely an area of interest. But what I don't like about crude is that I have no idea what's going on with the news. So this is one that just one tweet can absolutely destroy your account. So if I were to get into anything like this, it's incredibly imperative to have market stops. Limit stops can be skipped. Market stops will be executed. So interesting area there. MNQ strong. Wow. Let's remove this one now. Too many drawings on there. Prediction markets put only a 33% chance that Kevin Warsh is confirmed as Federal Reserve Chair by May 15, when Jerome Powell's term ends, according to Polymarket. The delay risk stems from opposition by Senator Tillis, who is blocking nominations pending a Justice Department probe into Powell. Markets still expect eventual approval, with odds rising up to 89% by July. Interesting. Thank you for sharing that. It's an interesting area here. Those of you that trade cams, we are in a lower range over the last 2 days. So Friday to Monday, we were in a lower range. Now we've gone up above R3. So it kind of discredits the short from R3. But in a lower range, you would be, especially if it opens below R3, you'd be looking at shorting R3 to S3. But the fact that it made it above R3 in pre-market here on lower volume, I don't know if I would trust that short from R3. On semiconductor, 52-week high. What's CAR doing? Yeah, fibs don't seem to be doing much over here. I don't think fibs have anything to do with this. This just seems to be an incredible short squeeze. And does anybody know what's the market cap of Avis Budget now that the stock has gone from a couple weeks ago $144 to over $700? That is unbelievable. 720. That's a 4.7x. You were saying that something was posted in the chat about CAR. Somebody posted I don't know exactly what section it's in, but from the short bear. Yeah, I'll have to go look at that on X. And Avi is saying that he will likely not be able to be online much this week. I guess his kids are back to school. That's a good thing that they're back to school. I guess Dubai thinks that things are safe, and they're yeah, good. Glad to hear that life is getting back to normal over there. Thank you for sharing the link there for the live hearing, the confirmation hearing. Yeah, interesting area. 10:15. I'll be on for another 10 minutes or so. Interesting area as in possible rejection of the highs over here. This is where we rejected at the during pre-market on MNQ. Same with MES. MES is approaching the R3. Also a possible resistance area. If I were to take a short here, first target would be the Golden Zone. Right, this is not part of my my trade plan. I would not short here. There's no room to the left. Market has been here. There's no clear resistance other than this, calculated R3 level, and the CAM levels work if that's what you trade. They work very well. But I don't trade only CAMs. I like having them on my screen. But I would not short here personally, just because there's no room to the left over here. If it were to come up here above pre-market high and put in a rejection candle, then I would absolutely be looking to short. If it put in either a double top or a rejection kangaroo tail. But again, my take profit would absolutely be in this zone where we started buying over here. This is the golden zone. That was quite the move. You can expect that there would be a pullback. If we continue buying, there was on this move over here, this is a 2 minute. Let's go to the 5. On this move over here, we have declining volume, right? We have declining volume on these green candles over here. So it's not as, pardon me. I prefer, especially if we break up above R3, to have confidence in a long. I'd like to see increased volume. So this area over here, this R3 area, could definitely be a sign of rejection, right? A sign of resistance. Fib 50. Right at yesterday's high. Is that what you're saying, Tony? I like ES better for that Fib 50 long because, yeah, I like the correlation here that this could definitely be an area of support, right? You have more than one area here. And those that would short R3 here, right? Let's just see, a short here with your stop right above the wicks. You can easily get to 3R before getting into, and this is what we're expecting, right? We're expecting a pullback back into the 50. So there are people that will absolutely short R3. I mean, their ultimate goal is S3, but is it possible to make a 3R in this short distance? And the answer is yes. Right? And now we've got increasing volume on the pullback, which is a good sign for the shorts. There you go. So was there an entry on the 1 minute? Let's remove this for now. Entry for me needs to be after rejection. I want to see a bearish candle, and this is the first truly bearish candle here. So let's say we had entered here, stop above the wick. Right. With that entry, you got to make it all the way through the golden zone over here. So that, for me, that would not have been an entry. And so hopefully that helps. But I know people that will take this short and just aim for 1R, right? Because the trend is going higher, but this is definitely showing some resistance here. So right, even short from here with a tight stop, right there with a tight stop, right? And aiming for 1 or 2R or 1R, right? This is doable, right? It's doable. It's very quick. It's not my style, but it is a style that works. This is showing some buying resistance here, pulling back into this 1 minute fair value gap. Was there one on the 2? Yes, there was. So this 2 minute gap here might be holding as support for the continuation. And honestly, this might be one that will chop around here, and it might take until 12 or 1 o'clock before it comes over here, or maybe it'll make a new high. And then I would have to move it. Now let's leave it there. Okay, now that we have pulled back, I feel fairly confident in where my fibs are. I would now set an alert if it touches a 50. So I've got an alert on MNQ. I will set an alert on MES. Right at the 50. It looks like it might be happening right now. I don't like when the move down is that quick on increasing volume, right? Because I'm thinking of the possibility of going long. Let's look at MES here. Yeah, so in the next 5 minutes here might be interesting because I will be cutting out right at 10:30. I prefer to have it on the 5-minute when I'm looking at these. I only zoom in once it touches the level. And Jackie just posted something about a new webinar coming out, Order Flow Part 2 by Zach. It'll be about reading the same buying and selling activity across different tools, not just footprints. Learn to recognize what actually matters, no matter how the data is displayed. So that's coming up. April 23rd. Sorry if that's really loud. So April 23rd at 9 p.m. Eastern. So those of you in the room, not quite sure where it's going to be, either in the Google Meet or in one of the voice channels, but that's coming up. 23rd is the day after tomorrow, so Thursday. Interesting stuff coming from Zach here. I will absolutely be attending because the footprints is something that I'm just starting to get into. You know, the influence that Avi and Zach have on my trading. I definitely want to start putting them on here. So there they are. There you go. The volume footprints. I have not started using them, so I will not put them on my screen yet. But they are a very interesting tool. I've used them in the past with what was that platform? We've talked about it before. I just had it for a few months. And anybody know what I'm talking about? The platform with the that they're very heavily into volume profile and footprints. It's kind of bug me. Sierra. There you go. Didn't have to Google it. Just came to me. Sierra charts. Okay, well, there doesn't seem to be much happening here. Interesting bit of a pullback here for the possible continuation. For me, I'd like to see it come back into the golden zone here. That's what I'm really being patient for, and that's what I'll be looking at once I log off here. So anyway, with that, I think I'm gonna call it a day. Hopefully you guys are keeping it green. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to put it in the chat or send me a DM. And other than that, I'll be back tomorrow at 9:30. All right. Cheers. Good luck, everyone. Merci Ali. Bonne journée.